What is going on, everybody? In this video, I'm going to be predicting every single top 25 matchup for week 6. I'm going to go through every single game and predict the score as well as the spreads and the over-unders. But before we do that, let's recap how I did last week with my top 25 predictions. Overall, I went 12 and 4. Against the spread, I went 7 and 9, so definitely not the best. I'd like to get above 500. And with my over-unders, I went 8 and 8, so pretty average. Regardless, we're not going to stop predicting games. It could be worse. So let's get into predicting the top 25 games for this upcoming week. And Friday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, number 23 BYU will play West Virginia. West Virginia had that weird win against Pitt, but it was a rivalry game. That might just be their high of the season because outside of that game, they have looked terrible. They lost to Ohio, had bad offense in that game. They got blown out by Kansas, and this team has just not looked great. BYU has a pretty good defense and a quarterback who can get the job done. And Bear Bachmeier, he's been a good dual threat for them. He led the team in passing and rushing against Colorado. He's going to be able to take over this game. West Virginia just does not have enough in this game. It's going to be a tricky Friday night game. Give me BYU to win this game 31-10. I will take them to cover minus 20.5, and I have the under for this game. The next game is number 12 Georgia versus Kentucky. This game will be played Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It looked like Kentucky had something with Zach Calzada this season. Their offense was playing better. They definitely played a decent game against Ole Miss, but last week it all fell apart after they scored one touchdown. They got blown out by South Carolina. Their quarterback went down, and the backup quarterback play was atrocious. Georgia has this game at home. They're going to be looking for a bounce back win. I know Georgia has struggled with Kentucky in recent memory. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is close, but Kirby Smart does usually have his team ready after bad losses. I think Georgia will take advantage of this game. Kentucky just does not have a great quarterback situation going on right now. I like Georgia 31-13. I'll take Kentucky plus 20.5 though. That's just a high spread, and I have the under for this game. The next game is Cincinnati versus number 14 Iowa State, Saturday 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It blows my mind how Iowa State is the underdog in this game, an undefeated team with a win over Iowa. They've been pretty solid this year and they can win games in many ways, but this is another tough test. They have not played a quarterback like Brendan Sorsby this season. Maybe you want to bring up Avery Johnson, but he's just overrated. But Brendan Sorsby is so underrated. Look at what he did against Kansas, torching that secondary. He's also effective running the ball on the ground. I expect a heck of a game, but ultimately Iowa State's line of scrimmage play, I think they'll be able to slow down Sorsby and control the game. Rocco Becht will be clutch when it matters the most. Iowa State should have the better defense. Give me Iowa State to get it done and another one possession win. I think this is just the team they are. Give me Iowa State 27-24. They're the underdog in the game. I'm taking them to cover plus 1.5, and I have the under for this game. The next game is number 20 Michigan versus Wisconsin. I don't expect a close game. Michigan has it at home. This game will be played Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, a noon kickoff. Wisconsin has been so bad this year. They got destroyed by Maryland. They got destroyed by Alabama. Quarterback play is a problem again, and the defense isn't really as good as people thought it would be. This is a team that will probably only win 3 or 4 games this season, maybe 5 if they're able to upset a team or two. Michigan's got alright quarterback play with Bryce Underwood. The defense is good. I like them in this game with that ground attack as well. Give me Michigan 31-14. I think they'll find a way to cover minus 16.5, and I have the over. The next game is Purdue versus number 22 Illinois. This game will be played Saturday 12 p.m. Eastern Time. You want to talk about a game that has Illinois on upset alert? This might be it. Last season, Illinois snuck by Purdue, and Purdue was even worse last season. Purdue has this game at home, and Illinois doesn't have the best defense. They could come out slow in this game after a win over USC. Purdue is a team that's going to fight more and more for these wins this season, and I just don't think Illinois is that talented. But ultimately, I am taking Illinois' quarterback play. I do think they're better. Give me them to get it done 38-23. I'll take them to cover minus 7.5, and I have the over for this game. I think there'll be some points scored. The next game is UCLA versus number 7 Penn State. This game will be played Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll have UCLA scoring 10 points, but I don't expect them to score any more than that, and I don't really like Penn State to score a bunch of points in this game. Penn State will probably sleepwalk through this game. It could be close after the first quarter, maybe second quarter as well. It's a road game, and they could struggle. They have to travel across the country. They're coming off of a tough loss to Oregon. But Penn State's defense will wear them down. They're way better at the line of scrimmage. I expect them to pick up the run game. Drew Aller will have a bounce back game. Give me Penn State 34-10. I'm taking the UCLA cover though. 25.5 is just a high point spread at home against Penn State, and I like the under for this game. The next game is Florida hosting number 9 Texas, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Billy Napier's job may be on the line in this game, and Arch Manning is with a lot to prove as well against a good Florida defense. He's got something to prove in this game. Both these teams have a lot to prove, and if Texas ends up losing this game in an upset, their season might just be over. Their playoff chances are going to go way down. And Florida is going to stay in this game because of the defense. I don't know if Arch Manning is that good enough to get this Texas team to blow out Florida. The rushing attack hasn't been super elite for Texas either, and the offensive line has had its concerns. But ultimately, I have taken that play calling from Steve Sarkisian over the play calling from Billy Napier. I think they have the better coaching staff. I think they get it done on the road. Both these teams are coming off of bye weeks, but Florida is just in complete shambles right now. I don't see a turnaround coming for this team. Napier might just get fired. Give me Texas 23-16 in this game. I'll take Florida plus 7.5. That's just a high spread. Definitely with how good these defenses have been, and I am taking the under. We move on to the game of the week. Number 10 Alabama plays number 16 Vanderbilt, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, a rematch from the incredible game last season. Game day will be heading to Tuscaloosa. It would have been better if it was heading to Vanderbilt. But man, you want to talk about a game that's going to have a lot of eyes on it. This should be the game. This game could shake up the college football landscape if Vanderbilt manages to win again. They are no longer a team that can just upset teams. They are a legit contender for the playoffs. They have an explosive offense with Diego Pavia, a Heisman contender, and they have a bend but do not break defense. They give up 35 points to Georgia State, but some of those were later touchdowns, and I think if Vanderbilt plays their best game defensively, they have a realistic shot to upset Alabama again. Alabama's looked better lately. They beat Georgia, but I still have questions with that Alabama run defense and their ability to stop a quarterback like Diego Pavia in that RPO system. They did it last year. Why can't they do it again? I'm taking Vanderbilt 37-35, covering plus 11.5. I love the over for this game too. The next game is number 21 Notre Dame playing Boise State, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Both these teams have kind of been written off already. Boise State had that week 1 loss. Notre Dame already has 2 losses. When you have 2 losses this early in the season, your playoff chances are very slim. But this is a Notre Dame team that won out last season. This is a Notre Dame team that has a great staff we are talking about. This is a Notre Dame team that is super talented with one of the best players in America in Jeremiah Love. They've been feeding him the ball lately, and it definitely pays off when you win 56-13 against Arkansas. I think they'll just have too much firepower in this game. I expect Notre Dame to keep turning it up. Give me Notre Dame 42-21. I like them to cover minus 17.5, and I'll take the under for this game. The next game is Louisville versus number 24 Virginia, Saturday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Virginia is going to come back down to earth in this game. They're riding off of a huge win at home Friday night against Florida State. Louisville is also a solid team. They have a decent defense, and Louisville is not an easy place to play at. I like Louisville with a bounce back win. Virginia has the offense where they can compete with anybody, but I think they'll fall short in this game to that Russian attack with Isaac Brown. Give me Louisville 34-28. I will take Virginia plus 6.5, though it should be closer, and I have the under. The next game is number 5 Oklahoma versus Kent State, one of the worst FBS teams, Saturday 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Oklahoma won't have John Mateer in this game, but it won't matter. I don't expect much. I don't think they'll cover. Give me Oklahoma 41-7. They'll kind of just sleepwalk through this game, not score a ton of points to cover. Like I said, I have Kent State plus 45.5, and I have the under for this game. We move on to another decent matchup with Houston playing number 11 Texas Tech, Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 undefeated teams and a sleeper team in Houston to watch out for. Right now, they are my playoff sleeper in that Big 12 conference. And when I mean sleeper, I actually mean long shot. But they have the schedule. If they manage to beat Texas Tech, they are a team to watch out for. This is a solid front 7 for Houston. They might be able to compete with Texas Tech. I don't think they'll be better than them in the trenches, but this could be a tough one for Texas Tech on the road. Ultimately, I am very high on Texas Tech. They have an elite defensive front, and the second half they'll take over this game like they did against Utah. Give me Texas Tech 34-17. I'll take them to cover minus 12.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 1 Ohio State versus Minnesota, Saturday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Minnesota has showed their concerns this season. They did manage to beat Rutgers, but they also have that loss to California. We'll see if they get Darius Taylor back, but this will just be too big of a test for them. Give me Ohio State big in this game, 38-10 to continue rolling. I'll take them to cover minus 24.5, and I have the over. The next game is number 18 Florida State playing number 3 Miami. This game is Saturday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I expect a close game. Florida State has it at home. They're going to be looking for a bounce back game. This is not a team Miami wants to take lightly. It could end up being their only loss in the regular season. Florida State has the quarterback that can keep them in the game. This will be a tough atmosphere to play in for the Miami Hurricanes. But at the end of the day, the trench play will be enough for Miami. It will wear down Florida State late in this game. They will manage to win this game. I think they get it done 27-24. Give me Florida State and the points, though, and I have the under. And finally, we're on to our last game of Week 6, at least the last top 25 matchup. Number 6, Texas A&M will play Mississippi State, Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Mississippi State has been a fighter this year. They beat Arizona State. They battled last week till the final minute with Tennessee, a very good offense. Mississippi State might just be legit. Watch out for them to keep this game close. Texas A&M doesn't have the greatest secondary, but ultimately their defensive front should wear down the Mississippi State offensive line. Texas A&M does have better quarterback play with Marcel Reed and a very good rushing attack. And they have it at home. I'm not too cautious of an upset in this game. I think they'll get it done 34-24. I will take Mississippi State plus 13.5. That's a high spread. And I have the under. But there you have it. Those are my Week 6 picks and predictions for every top 25 game. You guys leave your thoughts down in the comments below on this week. Now let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you'll love this channel because we upload a ton of college football content. And we basically cover everything on this channel, so definitely consider subscribing and also consider checking out my socials down in the description below. But that is going to do it, guys, and peace out.